There's this new trend where um, people tend to justify things that are ordinarily seen as bad in a different light so as to kind of justify it. Recently, I just saw a clip of a movie where the teacher asked students to sign that they wouldn't condone drug trafficking and drugs. But one particular student didn't sign because he had knowledge of how money of drugs once sustained the entire country, or the only cash flow during that time, blah blah blah, was drug money and stuff like that. And it got me thinking that if that is true, like, why are you now saying it in the light that that is that is the reason why you won't sign that drugs are bad? The boy refused to sign it, saying that it's not that simple. But if it's not that simple, is it a yes or no that you're against drugs? That's my point. So the fact that you didn't sign it means that you're actually giving them the go ahead. The farmlands that they used to farm the cocaine and the I've forgotten the other one, could have been used for more food crops and could have helped with the issue of world hunger in different places. It could have been, heck, more profit for farmers and stuff like that, but you chose to use the land for quick money in the sense of drugs. You thought of making quick cash over the lives of other people who you are destroying using that, simply because of the quick gain you get. And the quick gain you get is not even real. How, not that obviously you receive the cash, but the business is extreme in the sense that you're dealing with addicts, and addicts will do anything and almost anything just to get money, just to keep on getting the thing they're addicted to. So it's like you're making money off people who can't control themselves, and then you're justifying it, saying that well, it was good for the country's economy at some point in time. And it's really not fair to the people whose lives have been ruined by this stuff. People have killed to get this drug. People have reached points of mental illnesses where there's no return, and some have. It has created lots of different um, stuff, and you keep on selling it and you're justifying it. Let me ask a question. If peradventure those hands that were put into the drugs had put that intuition into how to smuggle it, how to get it out, the resources, how to move it undetected across nations, across borders, if they had put it into something else, wouldn't it have turned out better? Now I may be sounding old school, like, oh, what if he had used the this thing, the intuition to do this bad thing for good thing? But it is what it is. If we have the choice to do good and evil and we decide to do evil, it's still on us. We could have done good. Now, some people will come at me like, oh, but what about the people who didn't have a choice? And to that, I say, well, there are people who, in all honesty, it really was that they felt they didn't have a choice. So what I would say is that the people who made that situation happen too, they probably had choices. The truth is that somewhere before all of that started, someone decided to begin the bad thing. And then along the line, people were not like, oh, this is existing, this is the only way. Because if there was no such thing as drugs, people won't be saying, oh, that was the only way. You understand? I've met another person who was literally justifying the way, I think, the mafia moves concerning drug addiction and things like that. And every time he says this, I'm always like, but there's no way it's justified. We have to be careful the way we reason. One thing that I heard from the Bible school I attend is that You can't reason with Satan. If you want to reason with Satan, Satan will floor you every time. He will beat you every time when it comes to reasoning, because he has been around longer than we ever have. He has learned more about mankind than we ever would, because he has been here longer. He has been here longer than any of us have. None of us saw Adam and Eve. None of us saw Noah's Ark. None of us saw Jesus. None of us saw Jesus face to face when he was on earth. And he has been alive throughout this whole time. And then still we think we we have the best in reasoning when it comes to things that are obviously bad. We want to reason it out and kind of justify it. So it even throws me back to Proverbs 14 verse 12, where it said, "There's a way that seems right unto a man, but at the end of it is destruction." We really have to be careful in how we think, because reasoning is not always the best way forward. Yes, God gave us common sense to think, but He also gave us a guide, His Word, along which that common sense should, kind of like a railway, along which that common sense should move forward to. We can't be using our common sense to justify. There is no justification for drugs or whatsoever. There is no justification for it.